Okay, I want to move on to our third client, and that is Mark. And Mark walked in with just sort of a wardrobe repeater, his children were calling him, because he had to wear certain clothes every day because he couldn't have anything tight around his stomach area. So, Mark, if you'd like to explain to our viewers.
Sure. When Dennis just said everyone should be able to live free of pain, that's what brought me to ARP in the first place, watching one of your shows, I think back in January. And somehow, after 18 years, that struck a real chord with me. I had kind of what I thought was muscle and nerve damage just out on the sides of my belly button. And for 18 years, kind of a constant dull aching pain, and had to wear basically elastic shorts around the house and pants and to not have any pressure. And any pressure, like a seat belt, and certainly I haven't worn jeans or anything in 18 years, but any constant pressure would kick me up to like a 7, 8 in pain automatically. So sent Dennis an email and got accepted into the deal, and it's been terrific. I was amazed that what I thought was my pain was really where where it ended, and it wasn't the origin. I was amazed. I've actually been amazed by a lot of it, and how it was treated. And I've been through the 10 treatments, and right now I don't have, when I press on where I've had pain, I don't have pain there anymore. Now, as I go on with the continued therapy, I actually have some discomfort, but I think it's from the recovery, that my muscles that in my core, what I describe as my core, I haven't used anything for so long, and I think as I continue to strengthen muscles to absorb the shock, I continue to improve a little bit even more. So no pain. Pressure on my stomach is much better. I've been hitting golf balls. I couldn't do sit-up. Well, actually, I probably could do 10 sit-ups and then be sore for 3 or 4 days. I'm doing daily sit-ups and crunches and using the ARP. So it's been pretty amazing. So.
You're actually going to get that six-pack.
I
Okay.
so.
And Dennis, when you met Mark?
Well, when I met Mark, we selected Mark, and we selected all these folks because of very unique circumstances. They stood out, and we felt that we could help them. And when I read Mark's story, it sounded like this is a piece of cake. How could he possibly go through this much difficulty over these many years with this situation? And Jay and I looked at each other and we said, how long do you think it's going to take? And I said, a minute? He said, I'll give you a minute and a half. We had the ARP on and showed Mark that where he thought the problem was where it was ending. And all that was happening is that the nervous system was completely shut down and he wasn't able to contract those muscles to do what they're supposed to do.
Yeah.
So we got him back in balance, and you remember how we moved your legs very easily and then put you back in balance. The minute that happened, muscles start working.
Yeah.
If we turned all the lights off in here, nobody's going to see anything. And we try to put light bulbs in, they're not going to work.
Right.
You got to have the current on. His current was off.
Yeah.
It's just that simple.
Yeah. That's great to see you doing one of your favorite sports, then again, golfing.
It was terrific. Dennis sent me, I think it was after about the 6th treatment, he knew that I enjoyed golf, and he said, I want you to go hit some golf balls. And he gave me this regimen of hitting so many golf balls and go until you have pain.
Okay.
And I went over to a local indoor dome and started hitting. And I probably hit golf balls for 40 minutes without any pain. And normally I would be in pain or I'd fatigue very easily. And I did it just by myself, no one else. That was a pretty terrific experience for me to be able to have been doing the treatments, have Dennis say, you can do this, go out and try this. and I did that with no pain. And I've since been hitting golf balls, and it feels great.
Yeah. Well, we're really happy for you as well.
Thanks.
So congratulations on that. Okay, we're going to move on to our next candidate. That's Steen. And you were picked also through Dennis and the doctors with Jay. So we'd like to hear from you, Steen.
Okay, well, when I was 16 years old, I had what was called transverse myelitis. It's basically a virus in my spine. And it paralyzed my legs pretty much, and I slowly got a little bit of return. And in the years following that, I spent a lot of time playing wheelchair basketball, wheelchair softball, doing a lot of activities, and basically collected a lot of pain, especially sitting in my knee, and I've got because I'm not a complete spinal cord injury, I'm incomplete. That means that I've got sensation, certain amount of sensation here and there, spotty sensation, and so I could feel a lot of aches and pains, and I went to the ARP wave mainly to try to get rid of my pain so I could sit more and be a lot more productive in life. And as I read up and started doing the ARP wave, I saw how it did all these other things, like it helped muscle spasticity, and it helped atrophy, and everything that it talked about was besides the pain. And so I just raised my hand and said, hey, I'd like to try this. And so I started doing it, and all of a sudden, I got some activity down in my toes and my ankles and my calves, and all this activity was happening. It was, my legs were just a buzz, and it was very, each treatment was kind of a new and different experience, and it was kind of fun because I totally forgot about everything except trying to move my feet, trying to move my toes. And then, one day, just about a week ago, I woke up and went, I don't have any more pain.
Wow.
And so that was the kind of unique situations that I totally forgot about my aches. And so I realized that it's working in many different aspects.
Yeah. Well, even sitting in your chair, you were having back pain and your knees, and
Yes.
with having to be wheelchair bound, to be in pain all the time, and just was not a good quality of life.
It was not.
No. So Dennis, if you'd like to comment on Steen and his progress as well.
Well, once we saw Steen's medical history, and once we met Steen, Jay and I both thought that, Jay and I look at things totally different, as you probably already know. We don't look at what's in front of us, we look at what we see at the end to be. I see Steen running.
Oh.
So for me to have him feel things in his feet and everything, that's great. That just tells me that we're on the right track. But I see him running, and there's no reason he can't. All we're doing basically is allowing him that opportunity. He's going to do a work, and we're going to do work for many, many years to get there. But we'll get there.
That sounds great. And what do you think of that, Steen?
Well, I'm all for it. What can I say? Let me loose. And I'll go.
Yeah, that sounds great. Tim, he's our 5th client. You came in with some hip issues, and one of your favorite sports, of course, is soccer.
Yeah.
So you're limited on going out and doing one of your favorite things as well. So would you like to talk to us about your treatments and what's done for you?
Yeah. I've always been a very active person, very athletic, and actually just sitting here, my problem seems very minor compared to everybody else's, so I'm kind of humbled here, but I think it goes to show the value of the ARP can cover so many different things. I simply just had very, very tight IT bands, which caused some very sharp piercing pains in the hip flexor muscles and caused them to kind of shut down. And by playing the sports in a weakened condition, it just caused some further injury. So like everybody else, I came in here hoping to alleviate the pain and get back to a condition where I could enjoy the things I do and get back to a pain-free lifestyle. And tell you what, the very first session, it was just like, wow. Right. The next day, it was like, I'm moving again. And since then we've just been building on that, and it's been amazing. And hope to continue with it and solve the problems that Dennis was able to diagnose, and just move on and live a little happier and freer and pain-free. Yeah.
And see, that's what it's all about. I mean, everyone on this stage has a God-given right to be able to move freely without pain. Unfortunately, so many people that listen to this and so many people that come into the facilities have been told that they have to live in pain for the rest of their life. You have to take this medication and live in pain for the rest of your life. That's utterly insane. I mean, if you accept that, then you've accepted it. You know, the expectation, our expectation is that you can do anything you want to do. At any age, you should be able to do anything you want to do. And that seems like a grandiose statement, but the bottom line is if the nervous system is firing the muscles correctly, then you can do anything you want to do. The skill sets are going to be there. To have a guy at Tim's age not be able to play soccer, not be able to play volleyball, to have Mark not be able to play golf, to have Steen not be able to run, to have Ginny not be able to have a life that is full of activity at her age, to have Elaine not be able to exercise for 40 years. We picked these people out of, you know, hundreds of people. I mean, this isn't like a hand-picked crowd of people that we thought we could help. We believe we can help anybody. So it's so gratifying to hear and understand they had to go through a lot of effort to get where they're at right now. This is not easy. But if you're willing to get out of that mode of, oh, I have to live with this, you know, we can coach you out of that whole process, and they're living examples of it. And it's great. They all did exactly what I asked them to do. Henceforth, they have the results. The only people that don't get results are the people that don't do what we tell them to do.
And I think a lot of people would be willing to do what they did to get back to,
Oh,
you know,
absolutely.
quality of life. Yes.
They just need to know, and that's why this show is so important. Like you said, knowledge is power. They just need to know that it's available. You know, then they can make a decision. I mean, people say, why do you do what you do? You know, we send out an ARP out to somebody. We don't even know them from Adam. We're sending a $15,000 piece of equipment out to them, to their house, to prove to them that we can help them. We wouldn't do that if we didn't think we could help them, obviously. That would be stupid business. And you've got to experience this. I could talk to Mark until I'm blue in the face. Had he not experienced what he experienced, he'd have never believed what he went through. Same with Steen, same with Elaine, same with Ginny, same with Tim. You cannot articulate what this does. You've got to experience